When it comes to remote learning, the concern for a lot of parents is twofold. There's the academic impact long term, which a lot of kids can recover from, but also the social impact. Joining us this morning is Dr. Andrea Raby. She is the Vice President of Psychiatry at Bayless. Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Raby. Talk to me a little bit about some of the issues associated with kids not being socialized inside a classroom setting, especially when it comes to elementary aged kids.
So socialization has, for some of us, come to that face-to-face halt, but it doesn't mean that socialization has to stop altogether. We really, really have a very unique position, in my opinion, where we have social media. Back in my day, we didn't have that, right? We didn't have cell phones, we didn't have, computers, not to date myself. But so I think that it's incredibly advantageous right now. We need to take that into consideration and utilize that and realize, you know what? True, we can't see somebody face to face, but sometimes the next best thing is doing this through FaceTime or through Zoom meetings and really having a group together, because it's not just about one-on-one, which is important to open up to people and to forge those relationships, but it's really important as well to work on our socialization skills through group dynamics.
So, how can we safely socialize our kids while still social distancing?
When we were in classes face to face, we derived a huge benefit from group projects, right? Getting to know each other individually and each other's academic strengths and weaknesses. So really trying to just use the face-to-face as a foundation and trying to extrapolate that to social media, making these Zoom meetings and having maybe even study groups. We could make social play dates, if you will, on social media, even doing something like library groups. I mean, some kids, when they're younger like that, used to love to go to the library and have story time, right? So looking at your local community and seeing if the library is doing some sort of Zoom or media event to have a reading group, because even though your child will be by themselves, they might still be in a forum of other children in the library reading group, just as an example.
Any skills that we should be focusing on at home so that kids are better prepared to socialize when they get back into that traditional classroom environment, things like sharing and making friends?
I think it's super important to look at different types of socialization. So you're right, sharing, but sharing can occur within academic settings and it can occur with your siblings or with your friends. And even to have a bullet point list of certain things, what really goes into socialization, getting along with other people, waiting your turn, and sharing, as you mentioned. And even though it sounds somewhat regimented, I think it's important to have those types of bullet points in your mind because they're not out there doing that.
How about red flags that parents should be watching for that might indicate my kid isn't just independent, they're actually suffering from not socializing?
The more we stay in, the less practice we have to go out. And if we don't practice those socialization skills in home, in creative ways, then it might theoretically be more important or more difficult to go outside of the house once we can, because we're just not used to it. We're not used to honing in on those face-to-face relationships. So look for signs of anxiety, look for signs of sort of over attachment, if you will, to where they want to be by your side all the time, especially elementary kids, especially the kids in that sort of younger demographic that maybe had anxiety pre-COVID.
It's so easy for parents to get overwhelmed, but it certainly is also important for us, it seems, to look at the bright side too. This is an opportunity to really get to know our kids again.
We would come home from work and we would know them in the nighttime. But now we have this wonderful opportunity to know them during the day and all day. And I've heard parents say this before, and I think that getting to know them and opening up that other dimension of their day is so important and so heartfelt as a parent myself, that you can get to know them and hear their conversations, maybe through, on social media, and then creating that safe environment that we said before, earlier. So they do feel more comfortable saying, oh, hey, and in passing, I talked to so-and-so today, you'll never guess what happened. And so it's such a cherished thing. I've noticed as well, that we can know the nighttime and we can know the daytime.
Excellent tips that hopefully will put some parents' minds at ease. Dr. Raby, thank you for your time.